what does it mean to incorporate race into my scholarship, teaching, and service? Again, I just want to kind of speak from the perspective. And can y'all help me? Because I'm sitting up texting my friends going, I don't know if this is resonating. I want to be real clear, and this speaks to this question. I'm a black woman in every space, and what that means for me here is if y'all don't nod your heads or say, uh-huh, I don't know if I'm on track or not, right? We good? Good, okay. So I don't know how to not incorporate race into my scholarship, teaching, and service because I'm black, right? So, I mean, either I lie, right, and try to pretend to be something I'm not, or I enter as myself, right? And so race is always incorporated, right? I always, and it doesn't always serve us well, right? It doesn't always serve us well according to institutional norms, right? But I think it's something that we must do, right? I'm thinking about, you mentioned W.E.B. Du Bois. W.E.B. Du Bois, when he earned his PhD from Harvard, he said, and the honor was all Harvard's, right? I'm thinking about how we enter institutions which are not our own, which were constructed to keep us oppressed, right? And how we enter them from that space of audaciousness, right? How we enter space and say, you know what, I know you want me to teach this class about one of my first classes at Cal State LA that I had to teach was race and ethnicity in the United States, right? And they wanted me to teach the class as a survey of like all of the racial groups. Like, you know how they do that they think diversity means like, let's taste all of the food from all the people around the world, right? We'll spend a week on indigenous people because they were here first, right? Then we'll spend a week on slaves. We were never slaves. We were always people, so we were enslaved people, right? Then we'll talk about Chinese immigration, right? And they want you to kind of do this like a buffet of people of color, right? What it means to enter as myself is say, look, I'm entering this space as a black woman, right? And I'm entering this space from ethnic studies perspective that was not born of the institution in which we're now housed, right? Ethnic studies, black studies in particular, was born as the only discipline or set of disciplines that was born out of community struggle. It's the most enduring victory of the Black Power movement and of the Chicano movement, right? That we were born because communities and students and radical faculty demanded it, right? And in 1968 at San Francisco State University, I don't care, I don't know y'all. They shut that shit down for 4.5 months, right? And so they were willing to do that, and they won it because the institution was more afraid of what might happen if they didn't give it to us, right? And so when we think about entering institutions from that space, I'd be doing a disservice to who I am as a black woman. I'd be doing a disservice. I'd be dishonoring my grandmother, right? And I'd be doing a disservice to Mr. Navies, who was my first black studies teacher, and to the entire discipline of black studies if I taught race and ethnicity as a buffet of people of color, right? So what we're going to do is come into my classroom space and we're going to engage in filling in gaps around subject matter because our students are absolutely miseducated, right? This is Black History Month, Carter G. Woodson, The Miseducation of the Negro. If y'all ain't read it, go read it. That's your assignment for today, right? Carter G. Woodson struggled for and won Black History Week in 1926, and it was black students at Kent State University 50 years ago in 1969 who took the entire month of February, right? So it wasn't because, February is the shortest month of the year, right? The government didn't give us Black History Month. We took it, right? And we took it because this month is Frederick Douglass's birthday, and there were a lot of people that Carter G. Woodson was intending to honor with this week. So we need to think about what it is we're struggling for. We need to think about, in the context of Black History Month, how we're teaching, in the context of being in a Black Studies department, what it is we seek to do. So we absolutely seek to fill in subject material. We seek to make sure that students know that Lincoln didn't free the slaves and Columbus didn't discover America, right? We seek to fill that in. but we also seek to move from a different pedagogical space where students come in, and when they were pulled over by the police last night, that's part of what we're talking about in class, right? So as we talk about policing evolving from slave catching, they understand that they were pulled over because police were designed to see targets on their backs, right? And so, yes, we're going to talk about it. We're going to talk about what that makes you feel like. And more importantly, we're going to talk about what we as a collective can do about it. And then finally, as we move forward as scholars, because you're asking also about our scholarship, right? Our scholarship is not just something that I want y'all to read. All of us should read, right? All of us should be reading Manning Marable and Cedric Robinson about the Black radical tradition and Black Marxism, right? We should be reading Miseducation of the Negro. We should be reading Charlene Carruthers, right? And we should be reading all of these folks, right? But our research and the work that we do and the reading that we do and the scholarship that we produce shouldn't be just about the people in this room or the people in this university. The most important thing for our scholarship is that it can be used as a tool of revolution. It can be used as a tool to transform the world that we live in. That's the work that Johnny's seeking to do, right? Use his scholarship as a tool. When you're talking about radical activism among Chicano youth, Chicanx youth, right? That's about using your scholarship to empower transformative change. And so that's what our scholarship should be about. That's what our service should be about. Our service shouldn't be about serving on whack-ass committees with a bunch of white people who want to point to you and go, see, I got a Black friend, right? Our service should be about how do we take the tools and resources of institutions and use it for the empowerment of our people.